What's good, guys? It's your boy CS back with another one. I am going to look at the charts for the very first time in a couple of weeks. So I'm just going to basically freestyle and tell you what I am seeing, what I think might happen, and my thesis. So yeah, let's just get straight cracking. So my first chart, point and control chart, going to zoom out, just see how we are hanging around this region here. Fine. In between 95 and 96k. Let's see where the EMA ribbons are. So we've been fluctuating and been rejecting. So yeah, literally nothing's happened since I've been away. Been under the 20 and the 50 EMA. We hit it once, we hit it twice. Usually a third time lucky, we should normally blast through it. However, I also see that we bounced twice off the 100 EMA, which is acting as support. So we're in this little region here. And actually, I wonder where the weekly EMA is. Let me go on a different chart. Let's go on this chart. Weekly EMA is not too far away now. So we could even get a slight tap. Maybe potentially next week or two. Potentially. It could happen. This is actually one of my favourite charts anyway, which I've been viewing more so than any other chart. So when I last left it, I remember mentioning that I've done numerous different lines to see which kind of wedge pattern we're in, right? And when I last left it, I think we were in here. So we had broken out and we just continually been retesting it. See how we broke out of this trend line here back on the 17th of Jan, and we've just been wavering within it. And we've been continually testing. Potentially next week, I think we will come down to around here where my alerts are 92k. And the reason I'm saying that is because if we go on the liquidation map, right, today they're getting a bit of a slap. But on the 7-dayer, I just feel like there's so much to run through here, like till 91, 92k. And so even though I've not been trading, when I come back to the charts, I have to make a level-headed position, which is, again, wherever Bitcoin goes, altcoins will no doubtly go as well at some point. And so on the 7-day liquidation map and on the 30-day, there's a lot of signs telling us that we'll get to 91, 92k. And yes, there is a lot on the short side, on the bear side, on the 30-day. But if you think about it, if we take out all of this to 106k, we're basically just hitting the all-time high once again. We really need liquidity to move past this region in order to go above 100 and what was the high, 110k. Otherwise, we're not getting above it. And that's why it's important to flush out as many as we can, and people get more bearish and then they flip bearish and people start selling their Bitcoin, and then we can eat all that up basically. And that's where I'm potentially watching for the next week or two, if it happens. It may not happen, but that's where I'm basically looking at, around this region, okay? And if we go on the tether dominance, right, nothing has changed from what I last said, which is this yellow rising wedge, we've broken out of it and we've gone up, and now I've formed two more green trend lines, right, that are acting as, I guess, resistance. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think next week we might even go back and test near that wick, which may end up around, 4.7. If I go and do a quick measurement here, right, and let's just say that the double bottoms here, 4.99%. So let's call it 5%. It'll take us to about 4.84. So it's where this historic trend line is at 4.84%. That's a possibility. I'm not saying it will happen, but it very well could happen. That we go up one more retest, and then I know a lot of people have been talking about divergences. And again, I've been talking about it way before because I've got the market cipher formula here. But really, if we look at the shorter time frame, we can see here this was the 85 RSI on the 3rd of Feb when it went ballistic. It went down here, and I'm just checking if this is a deviation or not. Because if this rips through and it tests somewhere around here, like 76, 80, and it doesn't eclipse that, that will confirm on this wave pattern that it's over for the bears. Finally, it'll be over for the bears. That's where I'm looking at anyway. So, yeah, even though I've been out, I've not really missed any of the action. Even here at 4.56, if we were being bullish, the thing is we're being bullish right now. We really need to get a close within this yellow, this little wedge here, this yellow trend lines, these two yellow trend lines. We need to close here, ideally, if we're going to do it today, 4.44%. Anything is possible, but I don't think it is possible, in my opinion. And then next week, if we were to finish at like 4.45%, we need to somehow claw ourselves back into this region. In terms of the dominance, so this has been right on the money, right? We've basically just been chilling at 61.42 when I gave the call here. So tested again, and then yesterday and come back down today. So alts generically have been doing okay. They've been doing okay. The S&P, for instance, has been smashed. And presumably, yeah, it's just getting a retest. So, you know, whatever the S&P does, the Bitcoin price will follow or will lag. So no doubtly, I think 92K might be on the cards just based on CoinGlass alone. If I look at the liquidation map of all exchange, well, Binance, OKX, and Bybit, right? We've got a lot of liquidity down here that needs to be taken out in 30 days. And even on the 7-day, look at that. There's a lot at 91, 92. So I'm just kind of just biding my time here. I've only come back onto the charts, like I just said. I'm just looking at it now. I don't really see much entry points if I was going to buy. What I have been doing, though, is when I did go away just before I went away, I did short a lot of my positions on cross. So basically, I'm hedging, and I'll come onto that in one of the leverage series. In terms of the altcoins, some of them been getting blasted, some of them been holding up quite well, like Brett, SPX, Floki's done quite well. Unfortunately, MOG, Fartcoin, AI 16, and a few others like Beam and Bonk and Pepe have been getting hit quite bad. Ponky did really, really well the other day, and then I've seen, now it's just getting a big rejection off that level at 16448 here. So interesting to see if this has another leg down. Very well could be. I don't want to rule that out. But for now, from what I can see a lot of liquidity at that 91, 92K region. That's where I'm most likely going to re-enter on coins that I've either got stopped out on or haven't got an entry on. And yeah, looking at the total free, we're still within this ascending triangle, still moving up. We could still zigzag. We could even get a later alt season. It really depends on a lot of factors relating to the SPX and then Bitcoin. At the end of the day, even though the dominance has fallen, look how bad alts are getting hit today. Do you see where I'm coming from? So like only a few of them are in green, like Wojak and Mumu. So it's not really the best entry points, in my opinion, anyway, right now. And if we go into open interest, I mean, a lot of exchanges are red. I mean, BingX is at minus 45%. Coinbase is growing. If I go into my other chart, where I normally just look at the open interest from traders, right? So this chart here. So on the daily, we can see the past 2 days, people have been shorting Bitcoin more so. And today, a lot of people are actually buying Bitcoin. And if we look in a smaller time frame on the 4-hourly, yeah, so a lot of people in the past couple of hours have been buying Bitcoin. However, in the previous hours, they've been shorting it. So make what you will of that. As I can see now on the point of control, it's broken the 95 region and now retested it, or is retesting it, and may make a play for a further move down south. Now, one of the charts that, well, this is another good chart, which is just saying we've just been going sideways since November, right? So nothing special, nothing spectacular. On this particular chart, which is like an ascending triangle, we're just going in and out, in and out, in and out. So nothing there. That would be showing it's bullish. And then this parabolic, I mean, I've not really drawn it to the T. And I'm not sure, this is just me playing around with it. It could be something more like that. Could be something more like that. Yeah, it looks all right. But regardless, where I think this is heading is, I think on the spider line chart next week, I think we just get hit. I really do. I feel like we get a bounce somewhere around here. That's just my opinion from looking at the liquidity levels. And even on here, if you had a different type of wedge pattern. The other thing that is making me think that this will go down is the fact that the CME actually closed at, it says 94,675, but it actually closed at 95K. This is incorrect. Because if you go on the CME website, or here, there you go, it shows it closed at 95,055. So, in my opinion, this should close somewhere down there today. Or if not, we're going to have a gap and we are going to go and test it because it's only a small gap, in my opinion, again. Okay, so that's just a whistle-stop tour of me having a look at where we're at. I'll be doing a bit more in-depth analysis shortly, but I don't think there's any long trades on. Maybe a short trade. I've already hedged stuff from the previous weeks because I did think there's a lot of liquidity going down and everyone's just yapping. A lot of people have been DMing me. I need to get back to a lot of people, but I know a lot of people have been talking about something like Argentina, and now there's like some type of Kanye West Ponzi scam coming. So look, liquidity could get drained out of all the alts once again. If that happens, all of them getting drained and you're just getting a bigger discount. Because eventually what will happen is money will flow back into the bigger coins. And when I say the bigger coins, the bigger altcoins that we're very much familiar with, whether it be Fartcoin, Popcat, Brett, SPX, Floki, Mog, the usual suspects ultimately. Just checking if there's anything else I want to look at. And yeah, let's look at this, the meme portfolio of market cap size, right? So Doge, SHIB, Pepe still holding strong above Trump. Trump, no doubtly, I think will get flipped by Bonk and Floki. With trying to make a charge, SPX very much on its tail. Penguin, I don't know much about this wood, but obviously is green during a red market. So therefore, I think wood is going to suffer really badly soon. It's these coins that are holding strong, like Brett, AI16. I remember somebody talking about AI companions as well a couple of weeks ago in the VIP chat. Fartcoin SNEC is like the biggest coin on Cardano, I believe, so that's holding well. Mog, and Turbo, Giga, Popcat, all these are the usual suspects that, in my opinion, I feel will have their day soon enough, I think. So, yeah, holding strong. And in terms of liquidation, so it's kind of even 50-50 in terms of the size between bulls and shorts. And if I'm looking at like large trades coming in, usually you spend around 10 for 15 minutes just looking at where these big trades are coming from. So you got like 238k trade coming in from bulls, and this is a good way to just, size up the market and see what's going on, who's actually buying, who's actually selling. In my opinion, this is a really good indicator to keep hold of, ultimately. How many people are going long and short? Yeah, I'll probably dissect this a bit later, but the general conclusion to this video is I think 92k, just based off the liquidation map. If I go on the heat map, oh yeah, that's a good shout. I've not actually looked at the heat map. If I go on model, I like model 2. Yeah, model 2. Let's see, 24 hours. A lot of yellow and green at 95k. I think we'll blister through that. I think we'll blister through this and we'll get down to 92k, in my opinion. Yeah. There's a lot just riding down here. Look at that. And when we look at it, right? When we look at it, if you click on here and you see 32 million in 100x leverages, 20 million of 50x leverages, and then 5 million of 25. So let's call it 50, 55, 56, 57, right? If we go here on the short side, there's like 20, there we go, right? So 97 has 55, 60, let's call it 60. It's very even just at that one wick. But if we pick another playing field, right? So let's say there, that's 105 million at 93k. That's massive. Look at that, 93k. 93k. There's 100x leverage with 42 million. I just see that getting wiped out. In my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, my thesis. I just don't see how we're not going to 92k. I really don't. And I'll be watching like a hawk from there, really. I think I've had a lot of time off and I've not really missed any action, to be honest. And in actuality, you can probably take more time off just watching the charts. If you've got TradingView, set up your alerts, and that's all you need to do.